I'll be honest, in the last couple months of 2025, I was feeling a bit frustrated and overwhelmed with my wardrobe. I constantly felt like I had too many clothes, yet I was also dissatisfied with all my options and somehow could never come up with something to wear. For me, I think this was partly prompted by moving across the country and adjusting to a new city and a new climate, but it's also really easy to find yourself in this situation from all kinds of life transitions, or just from the general passage of time. Your style changing, life happening. I know I've felt this frustration with my closet at other points, and I'm guessing a lot of you have too. So as I transitioned to the new year, I wanted to give myself a bit of a wardrobe and style reset. And this month I tried something out that ended up providing exactly the wardrobe refresh I needed to make me totally re-inspired with my wardrobe. And I didn't even have to buy anything new to do it. So today I just want to share that process with you. Okay, so this refresh was basically made up of two pretty simple stages. The first stage is doing a temporary closet audit / clean out, kind of. Temporary is the key word here because I didn't make any permanent decisions about what to keep or sell or give away. It was more of a restructuring and reorganizing. Basically, all I did was I looked through my entire closet, removed anything that just wasn't working for me at the moment, like anything I wasn't excited about potentially wearing in the next month. And I put all of those things into storage in a different spot, separate from my day-to-day closet. For me, because my apartment has a lot of closets, I just put my stuff in a different spare closet. For you, it might be storage boxes under your bed or in your basement, or even just moving all the items you're not feeling right now to one side of your closet and leaving the clothes you are into on the other side. The point is just to have physical and visual separation so that when you're getting dressed, you can look through only the items you're excited about. And I have to tell you all, the moment I had everything I'm just not feeling right now out of the way, put somewhere else, it was literally like a switch flipped in my closet and my brain. I was suddenly so re-inspired and excited by my wardrobe. I immediately started thinking of new outfit combinations and wanting to try them all. And even though I had less in my wardrobe, it suddenly felt more expansive and versatile, and like there were more opportunities for great outfits. I was truly amazed by the instant impact that this had. I think there are a few things that made this so impactful. The first is because it was all just reorganization and not making any permanent decisions about what to keep or let go of, it totally removed all the stress and anxiety and overwhelm that can surround those decisions. Of course, at some point we do also have to make decisions about what to pass along to a new home, but every time you want a little refresh and decluttering in your closet doesn't have to include that huge project of big permanent decision making. And in fact, I actually think doing this first, having this system in place of putting certain clothes in storage, makes it easier to mindfully declutter things later because you've already had some space to test run living without those items, which makes it easier to then check back in with those pieces and see if you feel excited to see them again and want to bring them back into your wardrobe and start wearing them. Or if you totally forgot they were there, realize you don't care about them at all, you're like maybe even annoyed, like, oh, this is still here. And that can tell you maybe those are the things that you're ready to let go of. So, first of all, this is kind of like the refresh you get from cleaning out your closet, but I think it's a better system for cleaning out your closet. But this is not only functional as a potential alternative to a closet clean out. I also think it's so effective in refreshing your closet and your style because it goes beyond just cleaning out what you don't want in your wardrobe long term versus what you do want long term. It also lets you cultivate a selection of what you're excited about right now. And it allows you to put things away that maybe you do want to keep long term, but they just aren't serving you in that moment. The biggest example for me here is seasonal items. Maybe many of you are already storing your out of season clothing and you're like, yeah, duh, Liz, why would you leave those in your closet? Or maybe you live in a place without 4 seasons, and so you don't have seasonal clothing. I'm sure this doesn't apply to all of you, but for me, I have always been someone who tries to have a seasonally versatile wardrobe made up almost entirely of items whose use I can stretch throughout the year. And honestly, in this moment, doing this little closet refresh, I realized I actually don't have to do that. And in fact, trying to do that was not making my wardrobe better and more versatile. It was making it overwhelming and hard to navigate. Especially living back in Wisconsin for winter for the first time in years, I realized part of why I was getting so frustrated looking through my wardrobe every day was that I was looking through tons of like light cotton tank tops and flowy skirts and dresses. And like, sure, I could get really creative and try to layer them if I were really inspired and passionate about wearing that tank top in the winter. But like, I'm just not. It's cold. Right now, I am wearing a knit skin-tight turtleneck under a knit chunky oversized sweater indoors. because it is really cold. I want to wear a sweater, and I think that's a fine limitation to have, especially if I know every day I'm looking through a bunch of stuff that's out of season and I'm not getting inspired by it. I'm just feeling frustrated and annoyed, and it doesn't feel like an option, it just feels like it's in the way. In that case, it is okay to just remove it and bring it out in the spring. I am dressing for a drastically different situation in the winter. I don't need to be trying to find a way to wear the same clothes. Again, I'm sure this is incredibly obvious to many of you, but if you, like me, were in need of that permission to simply have a seasonal wardrobe, be at peace with it, and put all the out-of-season stuff away, I hope this could serve as that permission for you. I also think this can extend beyond literally seasonal items to pieces that just don't fit your current season of life. Life in general really kind of happens in phases that can be pretty drastically different based on, where you live, what kind of job you have, how you're spending your time, whether you have kids. We definitely experience different lifestyle phases as time passes. And so maybe it's not literally the season. Maybe you just haven't been doing as much hiking lately as you used to be because you're in a different phase in your life. Then those clothes can also get stashed into storage. And you don't have to make big, long-term lifestyle decisions here, because again, you can always get those things back out. It's just about refreshing how your wardrobe feels to interact with on a daily basis. Another thing I really enjoyed about this sort of reorganizing storage method is that it also allowed me to just take a little break from pieces I know I like. I know I want to keep long term. They've gotten plenty of wear, but maybe right now I'm just a little sick of them and I want a break. Sometimes just seeing the same items every single day when we're getting dressed can make your closet feel more stale or frustrating than it really is, because you're so used to seeing those things every single day. You either A, skip over them, your brain doesn't even process them, or B, you feel like you've worn them more than you actually have because you've just looked at them so much. Or C, you always only think to style those pieces in the same ways you already have before because the neural pathway is already there. So seeing all the same stuff in the same arrangements just automatically sends your brain into the same combinations. It can be hard to be creative and inspired in that environment. Even just rearranging the order of the items in your wardrobe can help re-spark creativity sometimes, seeing new things next to each other. But I also really think just removing those items that you're sick of seeing can do so much to make everything else feel fresher. And again, it can also spark new ideas, because maybe you always wear a certain jacket with a certain pair of pants, but then when you remove that jacket from your wardrobe, visually, it's not being presented to you as an option anymore. Your eyes might look at those pants and then be drawn to a new piece to pair with them. Maybe a different jacket or a top that would work just as well, but you've just never thought of it because you've been so used to your normal combos. And of course, in addition to seasonal items or items you just need a break from, this is also a great time to just remove those meh items that maybe you would declutter for real, actually pass along to a new home, and just test out your closet without them. Again, in my experience, this makes things much easier to let go of later because you're already used to not having them and not seeing them as part of your wardrobe. And it also gives you that test run without the stress of making a final decision. Because if a week later you end up thinking of an outfit that you want to wear with that top that you thought you might declutter, you can just get it back out and wear it. And now maybe you've learned that it actually is a valuable part of your wardrobe and you should keep it. All in all, what's so great about this method to me is that it doesn't force you to make any long-term decisions to get that short-term refresh. You don't have to buy anything or get rid of anything. And again, I really cannot stress enough how refreshing this truly was for me. I know everyone's wardrobe is different and I can only speak for myself, but I feel like if you too struggle with the closet full of clothes but nothing to wear feeling, this could have a really similarly transformative effect for you. And I really think this was so transformative psychologically because we often have this idea that style, and especially a style refresh, getting new inspiration and new outfits, is all about having more new options to work with. But I actually think A, having too many options can actually be more stressful and overwhelming, and B, the key to great outfits isn't necessarily more options, it's better options. Options you actually like and want to wear. And when you have a bunch of stuff in the way in your closet that doesn't feel like a good option, it totally clouds and hides all the great options that are actually there. This was definitely the impact I experienced. Before, I was just constantly noticing all the stuff in my closet that I was frustrated by. And then after I took those out, I was left with only all the stuff in my closet that I was excited by. And then as I was looking at those, just the good options that I was excited about, I immediately started envisioning so many new styling ideas and combinations, and I could see how these items I loved might fit together in new ways. Sometimes you feel bad about your wardrobe, not because there are no good options, but because there's just a high proportion of pieces in your closet that aren't working, and they're taking up all your visual space and mental space. And it clouds your awareness and your attention from the things that are working. I also think having this more limited selection made me feel less like all my outfits have to be different, and more like I could see so many different combinations and iterations within that smaller selection, reusing those same pieces. And because the selection was smaller, it already changed my concept of how much wear each thing should be getting. And so instead of feeling like, oh, I shouldn't rewear this again, I have so many other things, I should pick one of those. Instead, I was just like, oh my gosh, look how many different combinations I can think of using this same skirt. I can't wait to rewear this skirt in these 5 different ways. I got to just enjoy the expansiveness within this smaller subset of my wardrobe and think about how many other expansive options there were among all the other items. So once I had phase 1 done, as you can tell, I was already raring to go with styling options. I was excited. The gears were turning. I was ready to put it to use. And that brings us to phase 2 of this wardrobe reset, playing dress up. I feel like phase 1 was sort of the literal closet reset, which then lays the groundwork for the style reset, which we're executing here in phase 2. And I mean, this is exactly what it sounds like. It's taking some time in this newly refreshed closet to play around and put together some outfits you're excited about. This is basically what I did in my recent 2026 outfits video, which I filmed shortly after doing the phase 1 closet reorganization. And I honestly wasn't even thinking of that styling video as part of the, wardrobe style reset. That was just something I was naturally inspired and excited to do because I had just sort of reset my closet. But in hindsight, I think that dress up time really helped me put that closet reset to use and give me more of a sense of direction in how I want to use my closet moving forward. It gave me some clarity and a refreshed view of not just the clothing items themselves, but also how I actually want to wear them and style them, which is really the end goal. Refreshing your closet so that you can wear refreshed, exciting outfits you love and feel great in. And I have actually worn multiple outfits from that video since making it, or new iterations or adaptations of those outfits. Part of what made this particular dress up process so useful to me and allowed it to give me so many outfits I have actually already worn and am excited to wear in real life is that I also had my real day-to-day life in mind while styling those outfits. Sometimes for videos, I'm really just having fun, playing dress up, being creative, trying things out. And I think that is also so fun and creatively fulfilling and valuable. It helps me learn about my style. It helps me see things in a new way. It's great. But sometimes I do that and it's fun and creative. But then afterwards, I don't actually feel like I have a bunch of solid new outfit ideas that I can and will realistically wear in the next couple weeks, So of course, the beauty of playing dress up with real day-to-day life in mind is that it helps you express your style and be creative in a way that is more directly useful and practical for your life. It has tangible results. I think a fun little exercise to do while playing dress up is to not just think about daily life as a broad overarching category, but also to think about and try to make outfits you would wear for actual real life situations you will encounter. Try to put together some outfits for your work, for running errands, for date night, dinner with friends. It could even be comfy combos for working from home that you'll just enjoy wearing, even if people won't really see you. Also, let yourself be realistic about what you'll wear in those daily life situations. You don't have to convince yourself you'll put on a dress and chunky boots and a bunch of jewelry to run errands if that's just not you. To be clear, I support dressing extra just for errands. I 100% personally am the person who would wear a dress and chunky boots and jewelry to go to the grocery store. And I encourage you to channel your most confident version of yourself with these looks. I think it's great to try out something that's maybe a little more styled than something you normally would wear. Or if you want to try dressing a little more edgy, but you feel like you're not cool enough, try it anyway. You are cool enough. I support you branching out. And also, at the same time, if you know you're just never going to be comfortable in a shoe with a bit of a heel or with a bunch of jewelry stacked against your skin, don't force yourself to style things that way just for the look, because then you won't wear it. So, with my little dress up sesh, I tried to strike a balance between what's exciting and cool to me, what's maybe a little aspirational, and also what is genuinely comfortable and practical and feels aligned with what I would truly and genuinely want to put on my body to go outside and live life. So I hope you can give yourself permission to do the same. All right, some more tips I have for your style reset dress up sesh. Not to enforce rules for playing dress up. Can you tell I was the kid playing Barbies being like, what your Barbie did just now is like just not really realistic. I was always doing that to my little sister. She was just being whimsical and I was like, you're playing Barbies wrong. Anyway, not rules for playing dress up, but just some suggestions that might help you. 1. Keep an open mind. Obviously, we're trying to make real life outfits, but like try things on even if you're not sure that they'll work. Because half the time, you might learn you were right, they're not working for you, and that's fine, even a little validating to know that your gut was right. But the other half of the time, you're proven wrong, and then you have an amazing new outfit combination on your hands that looks even better than you thought. 2, don't try to do everything. And what I mean by this is, instead of trying to make all the outfits as different and unique as possible, or trying to style like every different piece in your wardrobe and unlock every cool new outfit combination in there, just start small. Maybe just pick a couple key pieces and try to style each of them in a couple different ways. If you try to do too much, you're gonna get overwhelmed and like stressed and burned out. And for me, just styling a few pieces, some of them in a few different ways, not trying to use and figure out the outfits for every single piece in my wardrobe, actually made my wardrobe feel even more refreshed and full of possibilities. Because it made me realize if one item had so many different options, that means all the items in my wardrobe have so many more options that I haven't even imagined yet. You're definitely not going to find or exhaust every possibility, and that's a good thing. Focusing on styling one piece in multiple ways also reminds your brain that style is about repeating the same pieces in new ways, getting creative with what you already have. And when you remember that and sort of train your brain to think about your clothes that way, which you will do by doing this dress up exercise, the wealth of possibilities in your wardrobe also just feels so much bigger and more exciting. There are countless combinations in there, and you can discover them and try them slowly over time. You don't have to do it all at once. I also think this actually helps make the refreshed wardrobe feeling last longer, because you know you've only tapped into a small part of it. So the knowledge of even more undiscovered possibilities hiding in there keeps your wardrobe from feeling stale. There's no scarcity. There's no rush. We're just here to explore and have fun. Finally, my 3rd tip for your dress up sesh is to take notes or photos. Just document things in some way. I love saving outfit ideas with the wardrobe tracking app Index, which I use literally every day. As always, I have to add the disclaimer that I do work with them as a stylist, but this is not sponsored. I am just a daily user of the app. But even if you don't have your whole wardrobe cataloged, you can also take mirror selfies or even just write down like the outfit in your notes app on your phone. The point is just to record them somewhere so you can refer back, remember them, and wear them later. And of course, this is also a good time to take note of any frustrations you're still having or closet gaps you're noticing. Not every closet, declutter or reorganize is going to reveal the most perfect, complete capsule wardrobe hidden within that clutter. Totally understand that. And if it still feels like something is missing, maybe your shoes feel like they're throwing off every outfit, or like a solid neutral cardigan would be the perfect winter layer to throw on top of a bunch of combinations you're trying on, but you don't have one. That is the perfect item to add to your wish list. I generally always have a running wish list that I keep an eye out for at the thrift store. One of the things that was on it recently was a brown cardigan, and I found one at the thrift store and got it, and then I included it and styled it a few different ways in that little video styling session I've been referencing. So definitely no shame here in making new additions to your wardrobe. I do it all the time. I also thrifted this sweater somewhat recently and I've been loving it. But I don't think just getting new stuff or dumping your old stuff is actually the best way to refresh your wardrobe and your style and really feel reinvigorated and excited about it in a way that can be sustained beyond the newness of those pieces. It's more about recalibrating how you relate to your clothes and how they relate to each other. So I hope this video showed you a path to do that I think is more impactful and effective, while also minimizing consumption and honestly just being more fun and exciting to me. With that, I think I've exhausted all my tips. In summary, TLDW, move all the stuff you're not feeling out of your closet space and then play dress up with the things that are left. I could have just said that, but I made this whole video instead. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful or inspiring in some way. If any of you try this, I would love to hear how it goes. Or if you have any other tips, ideas, personal experiences to share on this topic, add them in the comments. We love to hear them. And I heard if you do leave a comment, watch another video, and subscribe to my channel. Your upcoming weather will not be as cold as mine, and you will not have to wear multiple layers of knit turtlenecks and sweaters to stay comfortable inside your own home. It's cold, man. I'm so cold.